Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear candidates. This will be our fourth lecture on our ongoing crash course on current affairs. Today we will discuss the economic challenges of Pakistan. So in this lecture we will discuss the current economic outlook by World Bank, IMF on Pakistan, and we will also discuss 9 major economic challenges of Pakistan. So if you look at the economic outlook of Pakistan from 1950s till the 2020, you will notice that there are the ebbs and flows in our economy. Means our economy is not sustainable. We have failed to achieve sustainable economy. At sometimes we had growth rate more than 6 to 7%, and at sometimes we had growth rate of 3%, 2% of GDP, and now it has been projected less than 0%. So what does what World Bank and IMF say on the current economic outlook of Pakistan? So I will describe the current economic outlook and 7 major points. Number 1 is the COVID-19. As you know that COVID-19 has not only hit the society at the core, but it has also hurt the economy of Pakistan. It has hit the macro sector, it has also hit the agriculture, manufacturing, factories, industries, as well as daily wage earners. Number 2nd point is the GDP growth rate is given by the current economic outlook by World Bank and IMF. Our current GDP growth rate is projected at minus 0.4% at the end of 2020. And at the third is the current account deficit. It stands at 2.5% of GDP. Number 4th point is the forex reserves. Our forex reserves currently are more than $13.7 billion. Number 5th is tax revenues. Our tax revenues are only 11.6% of GDP. And number 6th, the current economic outlook given by the World Bank IMF is the locust attack and heavy monsoons that not only damaged the crops of Pakistan, but they also increase the food security. And the 7th point in the current economic outlook is what is the contribution of agriculture, industry, and services sector. According to the 2019 and 20 budget, agriculture contribution towards economy is 19.3%. Industrial contribution, that we call manufacturing, its contribution is 19.2%, and services sector contribution is 61.4%. Now the question arises that what are those 9 major economic challenges of Pakistan? So we will discuss each of them. Number 1 is COVID-19. As I told you before, that COVID-19 has not only hit the micro sector of economy, but it has also hit the society at the core and at the macro level. Number 2 is the trade deficit, that we call the gap between imports and exports. In 2018, our exports were $24 billion and our imports were $42 billion. Number 3 economic challenge is the fiscal deficit. That is the gap between income and revenue that stands at 8.1% of GDP. And number 4th is no ease of doing business. As you know that in ease of doing business index, Pakistan ranks at 108 out of 190 countries. However, when it comes to Malaysia, it ranks at 17th in the ease of doing business index. Number 5th is the corruption and money laundering. There is the Pakistan performs badly at corruption perception index, and when it comes to money laundering, Pakistan stands at 28th position in the Basel's and anti-money laundering index. Number 6 is the circular debt. Currently, Pakistan's circular debt stands at 2,150 billion rupees. Circular debt, it is called the vicious cycle among the producers distributors and consumers. And number 7th is rising unemployment. According to the current economic outlook given by World Bank and IMF, Pakistan's rising unemployment stands at 8.1%. And number 8 is there is no human resource development in Pakistan. And on the Human Resource Development Index, Pakistan stands at 152 out of 189 countries. So Pakistan does not spend heavily in its health and education sector of its populace. And last point, that is the 9th, is the inflation. Due to COVID-19, due to rising economic challenges, there is the rising inflation in Pakistan that stands 8.8%. So, dear candidates, this was all about today's lecture. So meet you tomorrow. Thank you.